My name is María-del-Mar López-Fernández, and I am going to present the paper titled School Science Conference to Develop Critical Thinking Skills. Critical thinking is a complex construct to address in the classroom, and in the case of science education, communication is an important skill that integrates it. The communication of knowledge is a fundamental part of the scientific process, as it allows the advances made in science to be disseminated and favors the development of critical thinking among citizens, an element that contributes to scientific literacy, which is so necessary today. Science communication can be worked on in the science classroom through different strategies. Some of them are role-playing games, educational fairs, or science conferences. An interesting activity is the simulation of scientific conferences where the student adopts the role of a researcher presenting a research that he or she has previously carried out in the lab. The simulation of a scientific conference is a useful educational strategy in the acquisition of scientific competencies and skills. Among them are correctly presenting the results of a research, knowing how to conclude what is important in such a topic, learning to express information in some format such as a scientific poster, synthesizing the whole study and transmitting, explaining and defending the information obtained. This study was conducted with 15 Spanish grade 10, 15 to 16 years, students taking a chemistry subject from a high school in Malaga, Spain. The students received instruction on the research topic related to the conference, namely chemical substances and types of bonds. The proposed activity consisted of recreating a school science conference at the school where students participated in the role of scientists. This activity was carried out at different times. First, they conducted an experimentation session about chemistry and collected data. Then, in the laboratory, each student built an electrical circuit with a battery, a light bulb, and a solution. Then, the teacher handed out different substances: sodium chloride, deionized water, acetone, ethanol, hydrogen peroxide, and acetic acid. Finally, the students used the electric circuit to study the conductivity of the assigned substances and had to establish the type of chemical bond each of them had. Figure 1. Secondly, they wrote their papers on a template provided by the conference. The teacher gave them a template for the conference communication where they had to fill in an introduction about the substances worked on in the laboratory. The methodology followed, where they had to explain the construction of the circuit, the materials used, their use and the experiments carried out, the results obtained in the experiments, the conclusions and the references used. The teacher acted as a reviewer of the papers, giving them feedback on those issues that could be improved or needed to meet the quality standards of the research. Finally, the conference was held with the oral papers. The students acted at the conference as scientists presenting their research data to their peers, with a time of 10 minutes for their presentation. Data collection instruments were: A. The evaluation of oral presentations by the teacher. B. The results obtained by the students included in their papers. C. A survey assessing their learning and the activity. D. A questionnaire on felt emotions. The teacher's evaluation of oral communications revealed that students incorporated more technicality in their speeches and used a more scientific, comprehensive, and precise vocabulary than on previous activities. The students rated the school science conference with an average of 9 points out of 10. In addition, they rated their knowledge before the activity with 6 points on average, and after the activity, they considered that it improved their learning by 3 points out of 10. 100% of the students indicated that the best aspect of the activity was conducting the experiments in the lab. Students rated the activity as useful and interesting, with the quality simple and attractive receiving lower ratings. The emotions experienced during the activity were valued highly, as all students indicated positive emotions from each pair provided. The data obtained in this study suggests that students received it well. School science conference. The students improved their scientific expression by incorporating more technicalities in their speeches and using a more diverse and precise scientific vocabulary compared to previous presentations, because they were not acting like students. During the conference, they had the role of scientists, so they tried to express themselves as researchers. School science conferences can be an experience to develop communication skills, one of the dimensions that make up critical thinking. Holding a school science conference also brings students closer to how scientists work, highlighting the importance of communication as the last stage of scientific methodology, often forgotten in secondary school. In this way, students can appreciate the importance of scientific conferences, what they are for, the benefits and difficulties they present, and the work review processes. The worst-rated aspects of the activity, such as time and the complexity of the research template, are issues to be improved for future editions. In addition, some students indicated that the worst aspect was the circuit's construction, because some needed help making it work properly. These questions made the students give a lower value to simplicity and attractiveness of the activity. On the other hand, the positive emotions experienced indicate that this activity enhanced the motivation and interest of students. As future lines of work in the classroom, new editions of the school science conference will be held with new students and those who participated in this experience to continue improving our students' communication skills. Finally, it is also worth highlighting the importance of this type of activity to awaken student scientific vocation. Here you can find the acknowledgements. Here you can find the references. Thank you very much for your attention.